like you ever felt.
Are you listening?
It's about 6 inches long, and I caught a bluegill that's about 3 inches long. It's real funny. Awesome. Hello, this is Captain Wayne with Black Tip Fishing Adventures. Sitting in my garage, contemplating, giving you guys an update. I want to discuss a few things. I'll try to make this video short and sweet. Picked my boat up from Reading Boat Works on Saturday, or actually Monday. Picked it up this past Monday. Charged me almost $1,100 to fix the reverse gear and the forward gear. Went through all sorts of problems. This is the new motor that I got from Maryland. It's a 90 horsepower Johnson outboard, and it runs fine. Runs like a dream. It's 34 years old though. And other problem is when you put it in forward, it worked. Put it in reverse, it didn't pull reverse at all. So I took it to Lakeside Marine, my friends up there. They took a look at it. The mechanic there is a Yamaha and Mercury mechanic, and not necessarily a Johnson mechanic. So after sitting up there for 2 weeks, the guy tells me there's something else wrong. Ordered a couple parts from the shift rod lever to pin to go into it. The original shift rod lever was really thin, and it fractured somewhere between the time this guy was working on the boat. Within those 2 weeks, he claimed that it had to fracture while we were jamming it in reverse, and that was a big discrepancy. But anyway, all in all, I ordered a new shift rod lever and more beefier. Put that on there. That's working fine. But still wouldn't go in reverse. Took the lower unit off at Lakeside, and this motor comes from Florida and made its way to Maryland on the boat, and the guy in Maryland was getting a boat from his buddy, whatever. So I get the thing. They take the lower unit off. It is just completely corroded, the entire lower unit. All the gears were full of sand and corrosion, and there was very little gear oil in the gear case. So what it looks like is these people who had this motor have never changed the oil, never serviced it, never flushed the engine out, never let fresh water run through the motor at all. So everything in there has been fused together, so to speak. So the guy at Lakeside Marine said he didn't have the right tools to take the gearbox out of the lower unit and do any servicing in there, and he didn't want to break anything, so he recommended I take it to a authorized Johnson dealer. Well, Johnson's no longer in business. Johnson Motors, Johnson Outboards. So I had to find someone. I found the guy 2 hours away in Reading, Pennsylvania. Took the boat up, called him up, told him what was going on. He said bring it to him. Took the boat up there. The lower unit was in a box. Well, the lower unit, put that on the back of the boat. All the other parts and everything was in the box. So I get it to him. Told me it's going to take him a while to take a look at it and see what he can do. So after 3 weeks, one phone call per week from this guy telling me that this is wrong, that's wrong, this is bad, that's bad. Finds out that there were several parts gone bad inside the lower unit, and the lower unit was leaking gear oil from where the prop goes in, I guess. There wasn't a proper seal there. Prop housing was so badly corroded that the bearings were bad. It was all kind of problems. So long story short, $1,100 later, get my boat on Monday, and he told me everything's working fine. So I got a couple little tweaks to do, such as the steering cable brand new helm, brand new steering cable, shift the steering rod. Got a unit on there that I don't need for 2 steering cables. I only have 1, so I gotta take that piece off, readjust it. That should be fine. Should tighten the steering wheel up. There's a lot of play in there. And then because they had to heat up the lower unit, take a torch to it to heat it up to get the prop housing out and to put the new one in, I need to sand the motor down, clean it off, sand it down, and paint the body of the motor. That's not a big deal. But right now the boat's running, it's in good condition, it should be ready to go. So what I'm going to do now, it's about 60 degrees today, this morning. So I'm going to go out, start working on a couple little things. I got quite a long list of things that I want to do to the boat before I get it in the water. And try to get as much of this stuff taken care of between today and tomorrow so that this weekend I can possibly put the boat in the water and enjoy it for the first time in 2 years. Now excuse my ashy hands. First time in 2 years, I'll be getting out there, hopefully. Now on the other update, Capital City Bass Masters, love those guys, Bob Law, Jamel. Went fishing to a place in Maryland called Havre de Grace, something like that. Havre, something weird, I can't pronounce it. But a nice little spot, little marina out in Maryland. It's probably about an hour or 2 hours from Baltimore, north of Baltimore. About 2-3 hours from Annapolis, Maryland. Anyway, went out there and did some flats fishing. That was awesome. I was throwing Livingston lures the majority of the day. I landed 4 huge catfish, no bass, and I landed a perch. Threw some plastics. Everybody else around me was throwing plastics and spinner baits and buzz baits. Threw some plastics out there. I didn't get anything. My partner Bob Law, he threw some worms and plastic worms and everything, and he landed 4 bass. I think the biggest one was about 4 pounds. Threw a spinnerbait out there. He landed a bass with that, but it was hit and miss. You know, it wasn't one of those slam dunk days where you're just snatching bass up one right after the other. Lots of grass out there. It worked well for the worms and some of the other baits, the spinner baits, as long as you go weedless. And it was a really nice day. We fished from 6 o'clock in the morning till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was pretty awesome. A bunch of guys, we drove down together in the caravan, like 10 trucks and boats going down. It was awesome, 3 o'clock in the morning. So, thanks to Capital City Bass Masters. Anybody in the Pennsylvania area, you can look them up. They have meetings every first Tuesday of the month at the Harrisburg Bass Pro Shops on the 2nd floor. So that's my update for now. Getting ready to go jump in the boat and do some cleaning, some tweaking, get some things taken care of, and then I'll get right back with you guys.